It is a wretchedly cold day out today. It's -3 or so, which isn't really that cold for a Canadian, but it's northwest wind. Holy smokes. I had to actually put a jacket on. I almost got my gloves out. So today I'm playing indoor games. I went and got my electric fence controller here. See, that's that PVX 200. That I put up a couple of years ago. I really like it. It works really well. One of the really goofy things about this, you can't turn it off. There's no switch. There's nothing on it. There's no switch or anything on it. So I had to put on a separate knife switch on the fence to turn the fence off when I want to go through. Well, if I want to go through the easy way, then I turn the fence off. Which in one way is good because I can see at a distance that that knife switch is open. Okay, which you might not be able to see. A switch is on or off on the controller. So I mean, everything has a silver lining. So the fence just connects to these big terminals here, ground and the shock U part. It has kind of a weird mounting thing. There's a slot here that I just slid a 1/2-inch piece of plywood up in there, screwed it on, and then I screw this to the post. So that says made in New Zealand. I knew that they were either Australia or New Zealand from their website, and that's the only one in referencing their site. They have kind of a neat thing. You should look them up. They'll have, boy, they sure have a lot of different models. Lots of different models. They have solar units, all built in with the battery and the solar panel. They have 110 volt units, and they have 110 volt and 12 volt units, and they have 12 volt units, and all different sizes in all of those different configurations. And so they list them all, and they have little silhouettes of little animals. So they have chickens, down at the bottom, and then it goes up dogs and deer and cows and stuff. And there's not very many have bears on them, but I did see one of their graphics that did put a picture of a bear, and this was the one that had a picture of the bear, so that's what I bought. So my problem here is, look at these connectors. These are just ready to snap right off. Look at that. It's all rusted. It's actually been sitting outdoors, sheltered a little bit, but not much. So that's for the controller. This is for the charge controller, the charge limiter. It makes sure that the solar panel doesn't overcharge the battery. So what happens here is the solar panel plugs into this unit, this wire. Solar panel plugs in here, and then this plugs in there that goes to the battery. So this controls. Then you can see the little lights here. You can see if it's charging, or the red light comes on if it's under voltage, or the green light comes on when it's fully charged. It usually sits on charging, but that's fine because the thing runs all summer anyway. Not a problem there. So what I'm going to do is, the battery I'm using has screw terminals on the top. It has the post and screw terminals because it's a marine RV deep cycle. And I've got some nice little eyes here. I have nice little eyes. These are nice little eyes to put on the wires. So I'm going to cut these awful things off of there and then wire these up on there, and that'll fix my connection problem. You can see the frame building jig is slid to the back for a little while. We need to do something else. So we'll fix this thing up. First things first. Snip. Those are gone. Those are gone. Those are history. So all we need to do is strip those off and put the new terminals on them. Now there's a little bit of a problem with putting these terminals on. The terminals on the battery are fairly big because it's a big automotive style battery. I'm going to strip those way back and fold them over. As the terminal that I'm using, the little eye, it's fairly large. It's for, I believe, 10 gauge wire, and this is, I don't think this is even 14. So I need something to fill the space. Get that Princess Auto terminal kit. Look at that. That's a lifesaver. There's 400 terminals, all different descriptions in there. Good old Princess Auto. There's a lot of people don't like these crimp connections, but if you're careful to do them right, they're not too bad. Sure are convenient. The idea is to use a correct crimper tool, I think. So I'll try to get that heat shrink on there, right about there. And tighten that up nicely. Put this smaller piece of heat shrink on there. Then put my larger one on there. And put my terminal on there. I've been doing electrical and electronics since I was a little kid. It's just a hobby, it's something I enjoy. There's a tool to shrink that. Another Princess Auto, look at that. That's a gold mine, that place. So this should shrink up. There it goes. I would say that worked perfectly. What a nice connection that is. I'll give it a tug, but it's hot. So I'm going to pull this one off. It's going to go flying over that way. Put the small one on there. There. Put our terminal on. Grip that nice and tight. The heat shrink gives a bit of strain relief too. These things, you yank on them, they'll come off eventually. So now I just need to do the ends on the controller, and that's the same deal. Stick this big piece on here. I just bought this pack. Usually when I buy this stuff, this is a Grody pack. They're in lengths, you know, which is convenient. This pack I bought, it's all one piece. Look at that. Crazy, eh? Where did I get it, you ask? Princess Auto. Years ago, I've been going to Princess Auto for decades. Years ago, I worked with a girl at a completely unrelated business. Yeah, we're friends there. And then she quit there, whatever, I'm not sure, quit or whatever, doesn't matter. And she went to work at Princess Auto. And she was one of the checkout people there. They were friends, you know, and I'd go to her checkout just to say hi and deal with somebody I knew and whatnot. So she was a very friendly person. So always say hi, always, you know, at least pretend like she was happy to see you. Well, one day my brother-in-law came to town to visit. And he's the kind of guy who enjoys Princess Auto as well. So I said, why don't we go down to Princess Auto? Why don't we just go down there and walk around and enjoy ourselves and whatnot. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. So we walk in. We go down to Princess Auto. And in those days, it was they renovated the store since. It's not set up this way anymore. But in those days, the end checkout was right near the door. They had the whole line of checkouts, but the end one was right near where you walk in. So we walk in there, and this girl that I knew, she didn't always work the end checkout, but sometimes, and she happened to be working the end checkout that day. And we both walk in at the same time, and she turns around and she says, "Brad, how you doing?" And my brother-in-law started laughing. He said, "That's hilarious. You live in a city of, you know what, 700,000 people, and you go to Princess Auto and they know you by your first name." He said, "That's pretty hilarious. Got my own checkout, Princess Auto. You think I go there a lot?" But she's not wrong. I go there a lot. So that was just kind of a funny story while I'm doing my thing here. But I used to go there a lot. I used to live really close. I could drive there in under 5 minutes. Now it's a 45-minute drive. And it's nice that the store that I do go to is the flagship store. It's the main big kahuna store. So it's very big. It's almost always got stock on what you want. Alright, my only problem there is I can't tell what color is what. I guess I'll hook it up, and if it doesn't work, I'll hook it up the other way. This stuff is good stuff. I didn't realize I was using the good stuff. It says heat shrinkable tool adhesive lined, so there's actually an adhesive inside there. I don't know if you can see that. I could see when I was shrinking it, there was some kind of a sticky goo coming out of the end a little bit. So I guess that was an adhesive, which is going to do nothing but good things for that joint. So this is load testing this battery. I don't even know where. 5 cranking amps. It's not too big a battery. It's nicely charged, and it says nearly 500 amps. So I think that battery is just fine for now. The Patriot hooked up here. I figured out which side is positive and negative. And there it goes. Click, click, click. Well, there's my controller mounted again. That's that knife switch I was talking about. It's the only way to turn it on and off. So that's fence energized, that's fence not energized. The controller never shuts off unless you unhook the battery. But I have a problem. I've connected my battery, and I've got my little charge controller there, which is good. My solar panel fell over. My own fault, I just leave it up there. there. And the problem is it's froze to the ground. And I'm afraid if I pry on it, I'll break it. So therefore, I don't want to hook up the controller and kill the battery. I don't know how much it would use in a day, and I don't even know if it's going to be warm enough for that to thaw out tomorrow. So I'll leave it as is. Hopefully that bear doesn't wake up quite yet. And hopefully if he is woke up, he's got other business besides my apiary. What a muddy mess. Look at this. But I got the fence hooked up. I've got the gate closed. It's ready to roll. So there's the apiary all frozen solid. I'm sure glad I insulated those boxes. Looks like that 6-frame nuke here at the end could use a piece on this side, eh? But it is what it is, and they are what they are. Nuke's actually doing pretty good. So I'm freezing my butt off. Well, I'm freezing my hands. I didn't bring any gloves. Here's a story. You see my camper there. Got this old camper from a neighbor. Makes a great apiary building. I've got equipment in there, somewhere to get away from the bees and have a drink of water and, store things in there out of the wind and the rain. Well, I went in there today looking for something, and I went up to the front and opened one of, how a camper is. It has overhead compartments everywhere. Well, I opened this overhead compartment in the front, and I gave something a yank in there, and a squirrel come flying out, and he bounced right off me. It scared the crap out of me. I imagine no more than I scared the crap out of him. So there's a squirrel living in my camper, not that I really care. But anyway, that's kind of the most exciting thing that's happened to me today. Not very exciting, eh? Oh well. I finished off my 250 frames, so I can wrap that pallet up now. And maybe go back and do a few more. Always more to do. Have fun.